What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of my Football Manager Save. This is episode number 53. And today we're returning with two big games with our Cherries as we face Manchester City away in a massive game of the Premier League and then Norwich away in the FA Cup quarter-final, aiming to reach the semi-finals of the FA Cup for the first time in this save. Before we get to the games though, shall we all from getting on off camera. And of course, in the last episode, you saw our comfortable 3-0 win in Croatia in the first leg of our Europa Conference League round of 16 tie, and then the thrilling 4-2 win over Liverpool at Wembley, where I still can't believe it. Gallardo decided to play a 19-year-old goalkeeper and hand his senior debut in the Carabao Cup final. And we put 4 past him to reclaim our trophy. Mohamed Bangura is a Bournemouth legend. Fair play to the kid though, made a couple of great saves there to keep it respectable. But our second Carabao Cup in the saves so far and our third major honour so far. And off camera, you see just the 2 games and we won them both in a really nice little winning run. Beginning with a 4-0 victory against Sevilla. Won't bother showing you the goals here as we brush aside the Croatians. Mitrovic scoring 4 goals in 27 minutes. And we also had a 2-1 victory at home to Aston Villa in the Premier League as well. This is one of those games where persistence paid off. We were dominating the entire game. I made a tactical change at the break as well. Took off Scott McTominay and decided to be a little bit more attacking in our formation. And in the end, we got the late goals through Goran Kowal tapping in from a yard out. Hamid Traore getting on the end of an Alex Scott through ball. And whilst Ryerson got a late goal for Villa, we held on for the 3 points. So, nice winning run for the Cherries in our 3 remaining competitions. Well, 4 competitions, all 4 competitions, I should say. And today, we've got Man City away. We're in the Premier League right now on the back of the win against Aston Villa. As things stand, we're in the top 6. Now remember, we've already guaranteed Conference League football by winning the Carabao Cup, so we know, even if we drop out of the European places, we'll still be a European team next season in the Conference League, but we want Europa or Champions League. We've got a game in hand in practically every single team in the division, apart from our opponents, Manchester City, where right now we're in 6th, 51 points on the board. 6th will give us Europa League football as things stand, and that's where we are. But we're only 6 points behind West Ham in 4th. Can they cling on to a top 4 place? Well, right now, we still got a chance of catching up to them. A game now, we can cut it to 3, and with 7 games to go, Champions League, Europa League, still a possibility. And we'll also have the draw for the Conference League quarter and semi-finals in today's episode as well, where of course we are overwhelming favourites to win this competition. And of course we do win it, we'll guarantee Europa League football for next year. That's of course what happened 2 years ago. So first game is Man City, Wednesday night away at the Etihad Stadium. If they've got any chance of catching Liverpool, they need to be 100% in their final 8 games. But this might not be Pep Guardiola's Man City anymore, but it's Jurgen Klopp's Manchester City now. Yes, it's always interesting to see who ends up in charge of the Big 6, the traditional Big 6 in the Premier League as the years go by. Jurgen Klopp has now taken over at Manchester City after 3 years at the San Siro of AC Milan. How interesting is that? But taking on Klopp's Manchester City now, heading into the game right now. One player is down, that is the young Portuguese winger, Colin Santinho, and Urisavic is suspended for this game. Everyone else, for the most part, is fit, and this will be our team. It's 4-3-3, George is in goal, but for his Gaz, Gomez, Mosquera, and ours, midfield trio being Scott McTominay and Radolovic as well. I just realised, every time I say Scott McTominay, it is Scott McTominay, because it's Scott McTominay is his name. I should really say Alex and McTominay, but even so, Alex, Scott, and McTominay. No, Alex, whatever, Radolovic, Baturina and Sucic on the wings, and Garang, our top scorer this year, leads the line. By the way, so on to Chelsea, interesting now. Milan and Atletico Madrid join the race as well. On the bench, you've got Ward, Mia-Drag, Garza, Mitchell, the Chump, Traore, Soria Delap, and Mitrovic as well. First to 2, it's a massive one here. Any chance of making the CL, and I feel we've got a win. I'd say at least six of our remaining 8. Come on, you Cherries. So this is a meeting of the best informed teams in the division. No one in the Premier League has better form than us and Manchester City. We've each won our last 5 games in succession. So who is going to blink first in this one? Well, it's Man City who have taken the early lead. It's normally the other way around, but this time it's Erling to KDB and City in front early. I say it before and I'll say it again. The Premier League is just too strong for little Bournemouth. I cannot see us finishing in the top 4 consistently for at the very least, another 2, 3, possibly even 4 seasons. We're not there yet. And I really do feel as though in order to get to the Champions League, it comes through doing it via winning cup and continental competitions. First, getting into the Europa League by either winning the Conference League, which we could do again for the second year in 3, Or we could do it via winning the FA Cup. Either we'll see you qualify for the Europa League, and then once we get into the Europa League, again, fingers crossed, touch wood for next season. We've got 3 ways to do it this year, via the Premier League, 6th or higher, or again by winning the conference or the FA Cup. Then we'll have to win the Europa League. I think that is our only way we can get into the Champions League. The top 4, we can't do it. Manchester City, Manchester United, and say have been phenomenal. Liverpool, we're not going to be able to compete with those guys just yet for a top 4 place. We're not at that level yet. If we're going to join them in the Champions League, it's by winning the Europa League. Yeah, I'm going to take my stars off the break here. 2-0 down. And our game in hand that could have seen the gap cut to 3 is going to see it remain at 6. Manchester City running away with it 36 minutes in. We just can't compete with these guys in the league, man. I'm already thinking about next year and thinking, right, we got 3 ways to get to the Europa League, right? Forget the Champions League. Forget all about it. That is still a distant goal for us in the future. You take it in stages. You don't jump. You take it in stages. We got the Premier League, remain in the top 6, we're there. Or win the Conference League, or win the FA Cup. From now on, the Premier League, I think, should be our lowest priority. I know it sounds crazy, but we're not going to make the top 4. So 5th or 6th now doesn't really matter that much. If we can win one of the Conference League or the FA Cup, that's as good as being 5th or 6th. I'd rather go for another honour than a high league finish. Yeah, solid bit of break here and empty the bench. Empty the bench, boys! Empty the bench. I'll say to the boys I'm disappointed not being creative enough, but really, I'm not concerned by this. I'm not concerned, lads. Keep your heads up and worry about Carrow Road on the weekend. I'm resting the starters from here. If you look at the league table right now, again, West Ham, they might drop off. You never know, but they'll still have a better goal difference than us. Manchester United will be good enough for a top 4 finish, no doubt about it. And then you've got Spurs to worry about. Arsenal, to be fair, I don't think they're going to make it now. But Chelsea, who are right behind, we're not there yet. Like, we're not there. You got to take it in stages. I think, for those that don't play Football Manager, like, it's not the sort of game where in, like, 2 years, unless you're really good at the game, which I definitely am not, but unless you're really good at the game, you can't jump up from a newly promoted side to a Champions League team within 1 to 2 years like you can in FIFA Career Mode, for example. FM is more of a realistic journey, if you will. In terms of rising a club's stature and ability as well. It takes time. It takes a long time. Yeah, you look at Chelsea there. To be fair, Arsenal, I didn't realise this, but Arsenal have been in decent form recently, so they have now caught up, and they're only going to be 3 points behind. So Arsenal could still make it 9 behind West Ham, but it's going to require probably a 100% record as Diaz taps in at the back stick to make it 4 between now and the end of the season. For us, though, I said we need to win at least 6 of our 8 remaining games. We'll be lucky to win half of them. Well, I felt we'd lose tonight, but I didn't think we'd get battered like this. I mean, we've been in brilliant form. Again, us and Man City are the best forms in the league. I thought we'd at least put up a fight out there. Sadly, we've been brushed aside quite comfortably. Mentality, we just don't have that yet. We don't have the mentality where we think, oh yeah, we can go to the Etihad, we can go to Anfield and win. We might possibly scrape a point at the very, very best. We don't have the mentality where we can target victories yet. But I'd love a go. It would have been nice if Liam Delap, obviously Man City Academy graduate, would have got it for us. But this is one of those games we just want it to end. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those games where it's painfully slow crawl to the final whistle. Just end it. We've lost the game. We just want it finished. We want to get on the bus and get back down south to Bournemouth. It's over. Can't ref. Everyone wants to get home for the news. Honestly, it's bloody 10:30 now in Manchester. Honestly, I just want to get back on the coach, sleep down the south. So I don't have to give a speech to my boys and say, the reason why we lost is because we ain't there yet. Oh dear. But we're not. It's the truth. We're not there yet. I have to remind myself of that. I know midway through the season I was like, we're ever gonna get there. Season 6, Doxy boy. Seriously, it's not like we're 15 years into the save, and we've got like the best team in the country. As we get a youth intake here, so guys, don't expect much. Okay, so here's our best 2. A young Greek forward with 15 determination, 3.5 star potential with 2 that aren't gold. Okay, alright. And the other was a winger, Sam Bissix, young English winger with, to be fair, great natural fitness and good technique as well, to be fair. But that's it. Those are our top 2 prospects this season. You just never know. You just never know. But I don't think I'm ever going to have an amazing Cuban take. Like, honestly, do you remember season 1? Apparently it was a golden generation. Where they all gone? None of them. I think 2 of them are left on the books. Everyone else is gone. Still, let's do the draws for the Conference League. Again, quarters and semi both come in today. And again, we're overwhelming favourites to win this competition. There's only 2 teams I'm really worried about, to be honest. That's RC Lens and Sassuolo as well. Maybe Standard Liège, maybe Apoel, maybe LASK, maybe Slavia Prague, and even maybe the Irish side. St. Pat's could cause us a problem. But if we can't win this competition, then we've let ourselves down. You know, again, a couple of teams there could be quite tough, but really, we should target winning this competition. And we've been drawn against in the quarterfinals, not Sassuolo. Oh, wow, they've got RC Lens. Those are the 2 teams I was most worried about. Is it Slavia Prague? It's not. So it's going to be Standard Liège, the Belgian side, with the first leg away from home. They, to be fair, do have a really good young goalkeeper called Diarra that I've been scouting. He's been in their first team since he came out of their academy. Mohamed Diarra, who, to be fair, actually looks pretty decent. But yeah, I'm still feeling as though we will be big favourites for that tie there. You know, the first leg is away. And if we were to get through the semi against Standard Liège, which we will be favourites for, we'll be taking on not St. Pat's or Apoel. It will be Slavia Prague or LASK. Alright, there we go. Oh, fucking Arsenal and Spurs just won on this Saturday afternoon as well. So the Gunners now cut it to goal difference. Although, of course, they still do have the game in hand. Spurs have now gone 6 clear. And they've got a much better goal too. Of course, we've got a game in hand on them as well. It's not the games in hand I want. It's the points. It's the points. We ain't going to make the top 4 now. Forget about it. It's all about making sure we get into the Europa League for next year. And then we'll worry about qualifying for the Champions League. Not this year, but next year. Right then, second and final game of today's episode. Just real briefly, like, I don't normally give tips on FM, but it's definitely something I do recommend for you guys. If you've been battered really badly and you've got certain players who you want to increase the work rate off, if you will, what you can do is you can fine them a week's wages. Well, I've just done it, so I can't do it again. But you can fine them a week's wages for a poor performance. And ordinarily, if their rating is bad enough, my general rule of thumb is if it's below 6.5, so anything 6.4 or below, if you fine them a week's wages, 9 times out of 10 the players will accept the fine. And every now and then, not always, but every now and then, you might see a player will have a +1 attribute increase in work rate. There we go. Radanovic, for example, just increases work rate by 1 to 13. So it's a really small tip, just to possibly try and improve the work rate of your players. And again, you can find them a week's wages, and they're more likely to be more disciplined. And well, I don't know if it does, but I think it might possibly give them a bit more motivation heading into their following game. Anyway, isn't our second final game? Norwich away at Carrow Road. Once again, we're the favourites for this game, but it is worth pointing out we have not beaten. Can't really do it. We have not beaten Norwich at Carrow Road since this save began. So coming here, this is not a ground where we know how to win. We haven't done it yet. Whilst they are struggling this season, what's going on there? Whilst they are struggling this season, it still could go down. Brighton, to be fair, have been on a brilliant run recently, and they could go down. We might be favourites, but this is not going to be a pushover by any stretch of the imagination. So heading into the game, Gars has just flown away with a Mexico under 23s. That's brilliant news. Well done, mate. And Ollie Watkins is cup tied. Everyone else is fine, and this will be our team. We'll stick with a 4-3-3, but a few changes to our lineup. Georgie is in goal once again, though, and the back four is now Tyrick, Miodrag, Mascara, and Arrows. Midfield trio is McTominay, Urasevic back from his suspension, and Alex Scott. And on the wings is Batarina and Traore, with Garang once again up top. Olivec, Ward, Gomez, Small Cone, Forsby, Chump, Soria, Sucic, Delap, and Mitrovic as well. Are we going to reach Wembley for the 4th time in a save, but the 1st time ever in the FA Cup? Come on, you cherries. Yep, Norwich were a mixed bag of form so far. 1 draw, 2 wins, and 2 defeats as well. We had an really good winning run up until we were stopped, of course, in that last game by City and beaten badly. Everton beat Ipswich, the only championship side remaining, in I was quite zoomed in their quarter-final tie earlier. I do think we've got a good chance of winning this competition. Haven't got to even the semis in the save so far. There was that shot goes wide of the post. This is the furthest we've gone in this competition since the save began. Past 3 years, Carabao Cup final, 1, 2, lost 1. But the FA Cup, we've struggled in this competition more than any other. So again, having not won at Carrow Road since the save began, a little bit nervous here. Yes, we're favourites, but this could go either way. Batarina down the left, back to Tyrick Mitchell, and the ex-Palace man comes inside, finds McTominay, and the captain fires just over. I think that is going to do it for the first half. Once again, a reminder, the FA Cup from now does not go to a replay. It will go to extra time and then penalties if it's level at full time. Not really much going on in the first half here. So in the second half, I'm going to say to the boys, we can get a goal and make us favourites to win. Go out there and make out. It's all we need, I feel. It's all we need. I think the one goal will separate the sides, but whoever gets an early one in the second half, I think we'll go on to win this. I'm very tempted to change my tactics as well, like I did against Aston Villa in the run off camera. Went more offensive, finally started getting chances, and in the end won it in the second half. And in that game I took off McTominay. In this one I'm tempted to take off Rosevich on a booking. And with Norwich coming through here, they could possibly open the scoring on the stroke of the hour mark. Connor Roberts' cross is deflected, but it's flicked on and then over. Yeah, I'm going to make a change. We need to get some proper chances here. So it's going to go to a 4-2-3-1, but I'm going to give Max Aarons more freedom to go and attack and join our offence. On that right-hand side, Tyrick's better defensively though, so I'll leave him as a fullback for now. But what we're also going to do is play at a much higher tempo, be a little more direct in our play, run a defence, be more expressive to make up for my terrible tactics. But also as well in transition, distribute the ball quicker as well. So we're going to put a bit more intensity on Norwich now with half an hour to go. Yep, here we go. Extra time over the quarters. And we've only really had one chance. The XG from both teams has been very poor out there. If it goes to pens, I fancy our chances, but I don't want it to go to that. I want to win this in extra time. So I'm going to say to the boys here, being the better team, keep doing what you're doing, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Second half to begin. I trusted to get the goal and win this game. We only need the one. I'm going to bring on Soria for Traore on that left-hand side. I'm going to bring on... Do you know what I'm going to do? Because Scott's an advanced playmaker, so he'll be coming forward anyway. I'm going to take off Batman. That's a bold decision. I've already taken Batman off, but I'm going to bring on Mitrovic, and what I'll do is I'll have him as a target man to support Garang up top, and also playing Lautaro and Sucic, really good inside forwards on the wing there. So, yeah, even more offensive now, and we're going to go for this here in extra time. Someone's going to score. I really feel someone's going to score. It's been a poor game, but surely someone will find that edge in the final 30. Here we go. 5 minutes to go before the break in extra time. Mia-Drag heads on. Soria loses out. Norwich get it back. So, someone's going to score and win this, and it could go either way. We're pushing more bodies forward now, playing a bit riskier. And Esposito should have punished us for it. Georgie with a save on a 1-on-1. Still no. If it goes to pens, I'll back Georgie every day of the week. So that is that. We're going to penalties, and I've brought on Liam Delap literally just for this. And I'm just going to let the boys do it themselves here. I never like to choose my penalty takers myself. I like to let the boys decide upon themselves here. And I'm going to say to the boys, just calmly, very calmly, with my hands together, relax, pick your spot, and don't change your mind. Did absolutely nothing. Come on, boys, come on. We have had so many penalty shootouts in this save so far. First one taken by Norwich, Esposito scores. I trust Georgie. I think he'll make a save or two. So if we hit the back of the net, that's all we need to do. Alexander Mitrovic. Come on, the first penalty. If Norwich go 2-0 here, I'm already worried. Come on, Georgie. Goes the right way again, but can't get anything on it. If we go 2-0 down, forget it. Right, Liam, I literally brought you off the bench just for this penalty. Don't make me look like a mug out there. Good penalty, son. This is one route to the Europa League, alright? Winning this competition. We are one of the favourites for it. Georgie again can't get a glove on it. Don't want to go out. We haven't beaten Norwich at Carrow Road since the save began. You know those places you just can't stand going to? That is Carrow Road for me. We can't win here. Garang Koal, bottom corner. Georgie, mate, I backed you. I said you will win this for us. I know you will, George. You've done it before. But today, he just hasn't been able to get anywhere near those penalties. To be fair, they've been really good penalties. They've been really good. Like the Luton Coventry shootout, really good penalties before the one that was missed that cost Coventry the place in the Premier League. But Christian Mosquera, I Mosquera's taken a couple of penalties this season in normal time. I think he'll score this. He's pretty confident from 12 yards, this lad. He hits him with power. Still, it's going to count for absolutely nothing unless Georgie can deny the former Evertonian Anthony Gordon, stepping up to possibly put Norwich in the semi-finals of the FA Cup. We've never been there in the save. And the wait goes on. I backed Georgie, he didn't save a single one. Norwich are through to Wembley. There is no way we should have lost that match, penalties or not. We should have won that. We should have won that. Yes, we haven't beaten Norwich in a save so far. We were on a great run of form for that loss to Man City. Okay, we tightened up, didn't concede a goal in this one, but even so, didn't create anywhere near enough. And Alexander Mitrovic, the man that lets us down from the first penalty. Disappointing. One route of our 3 to next year's Europa League is now gone. And I feel as though now it all comes down to that Conference League. I definitely feel that now. Out in the quarters, and we still haven't beaten Norwich at Carrow Road or got to the FA Cup semi-finals yet. I think it's all on this now. Forget about this. I'm just worried about this now. Right, guys, that will do it for today's episode. Big thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you had a like, much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. And while we can't not return with it, then can we? We've got to come back with a standard Liège tie, both legs away and at home. And we'll play the Southampton game away in a South Coast derby treble header as well. We still could, to be fair, finish in the top 6 in the Premier League. Have a great... I love how I'm saying that as if we're not even there yet. Oh, yeah, we could still do it. You never know. We're already there. And we have a game in hand as well. I must be the most pessimistic manager you've ever met. But even so, I'll see you next time very soon. Have a great day, much love. I'll return with that Conference League quarter-final and Southampton away at St Mary's as well very soon.